What's up guys, it's Manga Time once again and I'm here today to bring you my review of Bleach Volume 58, The Fire. This is kind of instead of a companion video. I know I said I'd do one, but on kind of reflection there wasn't really a whole lot to kind of discuss this week. Purely because so much of it was just Ichigo coming back. I think next week's going to bring us more, because we'll probably go back to the fighting, so matchups and stuff will be easier to do. But obviously if you guys have any questions about the chapter or any theories you want, of course you can post them as comments still. But as for this volume, it just came out, I just got it, read through it obviously. And it's a stellar volume, absolutely stellar. It is Bleach at its best, frankly, this volume. So it's got Yama on the cover, as it kind of should. A lot of people were hoping he would be in his Bankai, but I think it works. He kind of looks pensive, he's kind of at peace almost. Kubo's still going with the one colour palette, which, I'm really glad he has kind of changed that up, at least with volume 60 he has anyway. It's just bright orange, obviously. Interesting, it's called The Fire. He's been doing that a lot recently. He's been naming volumes after chapters that either don't exist or aren't actually in this volume, and that's the case with this one. The Fire is actually in the last volume. I don't know, I think maybe The Extinction would have been a better name, but obviously I suppose The Fire kind of embodies Yama completely. The poem is the soul, at least in my version, is the soul burns up though heaven falls. And it's not bad, but I don't know, I don't know, I mean, it's just pretty simple. I don't think it's, well, I mean, I think that the chapter really works with the last volume Yama was on, which I believe, oh god, it was about 45, I think? Yeah, 45. The Burnout Inferno, that's right, yeah, 45. And the poem of that was, you can live bowing on your knees but die standing on your feet, and obviously that's massive cool foreshadowing, because obviously Yamamoto dies standing on his feet, in this volume. I don't know, that's a nice poem, the soul burns up though heaven falls, obviously heaven falling. That's interesting, heaven falling, Yama obviously dying, but heaven in this manga usually refers to the royal realm, so I mean that could also kind of foreshadow their arrival in this volume. But it's a serviceable poem, but the poem's been getting shorter, because I think Yuharvark's poem is only 2 lines, Kurge is about 4. But whatever, they're still pretty good. As for the All-Stars, you've got Yuharvark, Hashbolth, Ichigo, and Yama. I kind of think we could have more on there. They're only really the central characters for the first half of the volume, not even that. I think you could have Shinsui on there, because he obviously has his big role in 515, where he stands up, takes command, and obviously later on when he's promoted to Captain Commander, I think Shinsui could have been on the All-Stars as well. And I don't know, possibly, I don't know, I kind of would be grasping at straws really for another one. I would say Unohana, but she's only really got relevance at the end of the volume, and obviously then she gets her cover next time around, so yeah, I think you probably could have put Shinsui on there, but I kind of guess they want to really emphasise that this is the kind of the final clash of the invasion, and these kind of the 4 main characters involved. As for actual content, 10 out of 10. This volume gets a 10 out of 10, with chapters like 511, 514, and 518, just absolute insane chapters. This is Bleach at its best. This is when everyone was absolutely raving about this arc. Is this kind of section, pretty much this kind of section, because obviously it ends with Unohana and the big reveal there. But going through chapters 510, you've got obviously Yamamoto ends with Yamamoto being slashed, and then 511, insane chapter. Yamamoto dies. I remember everyone was just like, "Oh my god!" Because he gets cut in half, and then he gets his arm cut off, and it's just Yuharvark's brutality. And that's just a great chapter, because that's just all of Soul Society getting thoroughly devastated. It's people going crazy. The mood is really set with the rain and everything. Just a brilliant chapter. 511. I was blown away, and I think most of the community were. And then you've got 512, which interestingly, in the original translation was called Everything But the Rain. For the volume, it's been renamed The Stand Ablaze. Obviously, Everything But the Rain having massive relevance a couple of 20 chapters later. Obviously Ichigo's arrival, and it's good actually. It's really good reading a volume, because chapters like when you're waiting weekly for the chapters to come out, chapters like The Stand Ablaze are a bit because you wait a whole week and all that happens is Ichigo has his epic cinematic arrival. When you read it in the flow of the volume and you don't have to wait for the next chapter, it really works, really comes together, and you really kind of get this whole epic entrance, and you don't feel like your week's been wasted, if that makes sense, because the epic entrance really serves its purpose, and then you can go and read the next chapter, rather than, okay, that was an epic entrance, now I've got to wait another week. So yeah, I mean, it really kind of works. Then obviously you get the major revelations of Ichigo's mum, Ichigo kind of clashing with Yhwach relatively quickly, Ichigo's Bankai being broken by Hashwolf, which basically is the foundation of the next 2 volumes, pretty much. 515, I actually really like this chapter, because you get big reaction from the Soul Society in general. I don't like the news that Byakuya's alive, but whatever, we can get over that now, that's a long time ago now. I love the fact that the captains all start breaking down and having a go at each other, basically. Obviously, Soifon flips out, Kensei kind of berates her, and then Komamura jumps in, and you just see that without, because they obviously haven't had this kind of loss, and when that happens, they all go mental. And I just thought that was brilliant interaction and characterization, and some real development actually for some of the captains. And then obviously from then on, you get a couple of chapters with the Zero Squad, and they're great. They got brilliant designs, brilliant everything. They're great. I love them. They're cool. You don't. I was going to say you get all of their names in this one, but you don't. You don't get Oetsu and Ichibei. Oetsu's next volume, and Ichibei's not for a while. But yeah, and then you get 518, which is just another insane chapter. Absolutely insane. It's when Grimjo comes back, the Fullbringers come back, you see the Royal Realm, the Shibas come back. Absolutely insane chapter. It is so good. Also, that is my most watched video, my review of that chapter, which is, it's funny going back and having a look actually how long ago that was. And then obviously Ichigo goes to the Royal Realm. We get to see more of Korinji and stuff like that, and then Shinsui gets made into the captain. So much happens in this volume, and this is what I mean. This is brilliant stuff. So much happens. The plot progression in this volume is insane. It's insanely fast. It kind of has slowed down again now that we're in the final battle, but I do kind of think this arc is probably not going to be as long as the Arrancar one, but I think it could end up being a nice length, because the Arrancar one was dragged out in the wrong places and sped up in the wrong places. If everyone's kind of given their due, I think it can work really well, even if it's not necessarily as long. I think so far we're, 75 chapters in, if I've done my maths correctly. But yeah, I think it can work, and we've got plenty left as well. So, the plot progression can slow down a little bit, and it's not as infuriating as it was in the Arrancar arc in some places. But yeah, that is the volume. The artwork is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Because a lot of the time it's raining, at least for half the volume, it is raining. And it looks amazing, it adds so much to the atmosphere when it's raining. And I just think Kubo outdid himself with this volume. So I drop a 10 out of 10 on this one. With those kind of chapters in it, it is Bleach at its finest. So if you haven't picked up 58, I really urge you to pick it up. Let me know in the comments below if you have got it. What's your favourite chapter out of this volume and why? And I will see you guys next week for another Bleach review. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, really helps. But apart from that, I shall see you guys later. See ya.